Welcome, as always, down to weather down in Muletown. We will get right with it today because we do have some breaking severe weather news to give you. As you see, we feel like we've gotten pretty used to this over the last little bit. Our map of the mid-state area has gone Pepto-Bismol pink again, so I know that gives some of you indigestion, but that means we are under a severe thunderstorm watch. It is so brand new. It hasn't updated yet on this. There we go. It just updated on the Storm Prediction Center, so I'm actually still getting that posted. So just bear with me for a bit while I do that for you all. If the longtime followers of the page will notice when something like that happens, if it doesn't update yet, I will just throw in just a placeholder post and say, "Hey, severe thunderstorm watch," and then go back and edit it. So if you like that, literally as soon as I get it popped up, just remember there is more info coming. So again, just give me just a moment to do that because I'm running on a couple of different things here right now. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings to talk about as well, in addition to some other severe storm prediction center stuffs. So getting that graphic right now for you. Perfect. Okay, so Facebook post is updated now, so got that information there for you. And, just kidding, hold on, now it's updated. Okay, so now the Facebook post has been updated. I'm going to get that info down here on our crawler as well. So again, just bear with me 1 second. And as you can hear in the background there too, we also have some lightning in the area as well. Obviously with these storms, they are putting down a lot of lightning as well as some pretty decent hail signatures as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Looking at a wind threat with this, our available wind shear right now is not very impressive. Basically just enough to kind of keep a decent hail threat going with those updrafts, but nothing just hugely threatening as far as the tornado threat goes there today. Again, never can completely rule it out, but it does look to be low enough to justify just that the tornado. Not the tornado instead of the severe. So trying to type and think, and it's not working out great for me. So again, go ahead and make that joyful noise. And here it comes. It's the song of my people. All right. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for portions of middle to southeast Tennessee, effective this Saturday afternoon and evening from 12:25 p.m. local time until 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time or until canceled. So got that out of the way there. Got all that info posted. And again, if you need more info than that, please see the Storm Prediction Center website, spc.noaa.gov. And we'll go right into our radar here. So still have some pretty decent shower activity over in the east of Murray County along the county line there near Highway 431 and Kalioka area. You're also getting some of that as well as we speak. So area between Hampshire and Columbia right there along Hampshire Pike. Looks like you're getting some pretty decent activity. Don't see any hail signatures with these right now. So yeah, perfect. Maybe a little there along the county line hill, but nothing major like we were saying a minute ago. However, these storms that we've got coming right now through just to the south of Hohenwald, you're getting walloped down there near Grinder Creek Road, that area. Definitely seeing some hail showing up to about 2-inch hail here. Right around the State Highway 99 area, over to Sickler Road, Dial Hollow Road. Y'all have got some pretty big ice falling from the sky there, if that's reading true. So again, big thing is these storms are generally on the way here, and we also have at least a slice of Murray County here that does include a severe thunderstorm warning now that these yellow boxes are here. So definitely keep an eye on that. We will remain on the air with you as long as need be, of course, as long as the watch is in effect and as long as we are under that severe threat. let's go ahead here and let me do some magic and grab ourselves some storm track info off of this, because it actually looks like it's just kind of bubbling up. So kind of illustrates the volatility of the current environment right now. And let's have a little look and see. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. And we can go in and storm track that as well and see exactly if we can get you all some times of arrival there. Let me swap over into our full screen mode so you can see those when I get them up. So, current location, projected location. There we go. Storm track, and let's get those ETAs up there for you. It'll take it just a second because I've got it to include like all the little spots on the road and crossroad towns and everything else in between. So, looks like we're going to make it to Murray County about, looks like around the 120 area. So Mount Joy about 122, Sandy Hook 125, Mount Pleasant around 130 or so, Arrow Lake just a couple of minutes after there. So definitely got a couple of spots that are going to be under the threat of this one in particular down there in southwestern Murray County. So keep an eye on that if you are in the area. I'll leave this up over here. Just kind of try to get it out of the way a little bit without blocking it. So yeah, there we go. I'll try to leave that right there so you can kind of see what's going on and where that storm should be in the expected time frame. So again, definitely keeping an eye on these. Not so much for the tornado threat, but definitely should have a damaging wind threat present today and also a large hail threat. So those two combined can definitely ruin your day pretty quickly, like we talk about. So Centerville, Dixon County, Burns, Charlotte, y'all are covered up. Y'all have got warnings in place, obviously, for a while here. Oops, sorry, missing one program running there. Sorry, y'all. The power went out a minute ago and it messed me up there a little bit. So yeah, got that severe warning for Dixon, Cheatham, Hickman, Houston, Humphreys, part of Murray, Perry, and Williamson. So if you're in this section of that warning right there, I would just go ahead and treat that. If you're living in that northern tip of northwestern tip of Murray County or over there by Hampshire, I would just go ahead and assume this is also going to be for you. It's been showing some pretty good winds there. So some in excess 50, 60 miles an hour, obviously to be severe thunderstorm criteria. Don't really see any organized rotation there, which like we were talking about earlier today is not really anything that we expect, just basically enough to run those updrafts. So, other than that, main thing right now is Hohenwald and Mount Pleasant. You all are going to get a pretty good storm. Obviously, lots of lightning there. The purple and pink returns coming back on the radar definitely indicates that high precipitation storm there. So, definitely something to be keeping an eye out. So, if you're listening to me right now from southern Murray County, Mount Pleasant, Keokuk, go ahead, get ready for this. Summertown probably couldn't hurt either. Hampshire, maybe you too. If these two link up, it could make them a little bit weaker, but for the moment, it could basically just broaden out our coverage and make it a lot more widespread there. So it looks like they probably will link up in the last couple of scans. We can throw that in motion and see. We back it out a little bit. You can kind of have a look and see how these are going. Storms that we had coming through earlier, and then what we've got coming through in this next round and their associated warnings. So let that roll a second and shut up. Garland, the current rain, it could. So when we always talk about like our best storm chance always comes from what we call tail end Charlie. If you can imagine like just a string of pearls hanging down, that very last storm on the very bottom end always has the best storm ingredients and the best potential just because it's out by itself. Sometimes if you have storms out ahead of these, it can choke things out and add a lot of extra moisture to the atmosphere and calm things down. When you've got a really hot unstable day like today, it can make things worse sometimes. Obviously, when you got really hot ground, really hot pavement, all that rain and precipitation has got to go somewhere, and it's just basically going to go right back as intergetic moisture at that point. So very great question. Short answer, it all depends. Today is one of those days where it might not help so much because we do have so much sun. I've got my windows covered up now, so I don't know if I've actually got sun right here right now, but I'm getting a slight UV reading from the weather station, so I'm assuming that we do have at least some sun right now in Sunnyside. Speaking of Sunnyside, it's currently 73 degrees here right now with a whopping 91.3% humidity and rising, as you imagine. Wind's calm at the moment, but we have seen winds up to about 10 or 15 miles an hour with some of the gusts this morning. Pressure 29.92 and also falling. Dew point 70. That's the other thing we've been running into. Obviously, we're at 73 degrees right now and a dew point of 70, so the air is pretty much as saturated as it can be. So, one of the things that will be possibly working against us today, because we do have all of that ample moisture, and especially if it does turn straight into that energetic moisture after the heating that we were talking about earlier. So making sure. All right, Linda says hi from Casey Lane. Know exactly where that's at. Used to work at 911 many moons ago. It was I think it was my very first big boy job, actually. Technically. So, yeah. Main thing is for the moment, the severe thunderstorm watch. Again, if you are just joining us, we are under that severe thunderstorm watch until later on around 8 p.m. this evening, unless it does get shortened up for whatever reason. So we will be with you as always, as long as need be, as long as that watch is in effect, we will be here. And definitely for the meantime coming up, because we do have some pretty gnarly weather approaching the area up here around, like I said, the county lines of Lawrence and Lewis over here coming into Dixon. We're going to get a lot of this same stuff that's coming through. So did a storm track on that a minute ago. If you missed that, you can always rewind it, I think. If not, I'll do one here again in just a moment as we get a little bit closer to the Columbia area. But right now, it definitely looks like things are indeed rocking and rolling down here. We can go in and have another look at our hail signatures and kind of see what we're talking about there for sure. See, I've got a little bit over 1 inch hail showing there. Right around, where is that? Metal Ford Road, Taberlock Road, around that area in Lewis County. So if you're in those areas, anywhere right around in here, going to be some pretty heavy hail possibly moving your way here in just a little bit. Also showing some potential for some 50-mile-an-hour winds there as well, so just below severe limits, but definitely something to be aware of. Now's the time to go and make sure you get all your lawn furniture put up, small children, pets, things such as that. So I'm trying to stay caught up on all the comments here because I'm doing a little bit of back and forth between Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all of my concoction of screens here. So trying to make sure I stay on all of the comments. Yeah. Yeah, Debbie, you are getting the first round now. Yeah, there's definitely some more coming there as far as that goes. All right, and yeah, and definitely if y'all are seeing any hail out there or any wind damage, throw that in the comments down there and let us know what's going on. Like we always talk about, if you're familiar with the broadcast at all, we throw that stuff up to the NWS and let them kind of know what's going on for some ground truth there as well. So pretty good storms rolling through right now. Again, if you're just joining us, we are under that severe thunderstorm watch, so definitely be weather aware today and in the coming hour or so. It looks like most of these storms, I think, will be here probably within the next hour. Most of the storm track stuff from Mount Pleasant from earlier was looking about like 1:30, I believe. So you can extrapolate that out a little bit and say Columbia probably about 1:45 to 2 p.m. or so, but we'll go in and storm track that again. I've got the ability to go in and like track the whole like line of the little bow here, but it's kind of a pain. So it's been a work in progress, still testing some things on that to get it to work just exactly how we want it to, because of course we do get so many of those line segments. You'll see them referred to as QLCS a lot, and we're just talking about these big line segments of storms, as opposed to individual cells or discrete cells, supercells, whatever you want to call them there. All right. Big money, Nancy Arnold. Thank you for that. Appreciate the stars as always. But that is what we've got going on right now. Excuse me, guys. I'm actually going to have a sip of my drink here real quick because I've got a scratchy throat. Keeping it well away from the thousands of dollars of stuff up here on the desk. So, yeah, Lewisburg, we'll go ahead and talk about you real quick, too. It looks like y'all have got some pretty decent weather moving into the north there between Lewisburg and Chapel Hill, maybe even some half-inch size tail, so about penny size tail there, maybe. Pulaski also getting it right now, just to the east of Pulaski there, maybe along Leatherwood Creek Road, Beach Hill Road. Y'all are looking like y'all are seeing some 3/4 inch hail as well there, so maybe close to nickel sized. And down below Pulaski here, I wouldn't be surprised if you're not seeing any. Yep, probably a little bit of hail down here to the south of Highway 11, Dog Branch Road, Oak Grove Road, Nancy Green Ridge Road down there in Giles County. So pretty decent bit of activity all over the place. I'll go ahead and I'll probably just leave this here a second and throw that back in motion so you can kind of see what's going on there. And you can see, again, copious amounts of lightning with some of these cells as well, too. You can almost not see the... turn the lightning off there for just a second. You can almost not see any of the rain and the warning information just because there is so much lightning with some of these. So still going to be keeping an eye after these initial set come through for the storms that might be developing back here. If some of these stay as individual like discrete cells like we talked about, those could be the ones to pose some problems. This may look really scary, and it does usually tend to have a higher wind threat, as we can see there with all of the severe thunderstorm warnings along the leading edge. But those individual discrete cells are the ones that can usually get a lot stronger and cause more damage in a more localized spot. But definitely plenty of activity across all of the mid-state at the moment. So bear with us today too, because this will probably be one of the first decent days that we may have as far as warnings and widespread severe weather. So definitely bear with us. I've got moms working in the background as well, and I may have Miss Captain in here put to work with the comments before it's over with as well. About the only, because we do get so many comments, and that's definitely, I'm not complaining. That helps us out with the algorithm and helps get info out to everybody. But I'm probably going to have one of them feed me comments when we are on air, kind of a la Bill Hall, my hero, and do things like a traditional newscast that way, just because there are so many comments on here when we get really busy. Garland Brown, big money, appreciate that. Thank you, sir. All right, and I think I'm mostly caught up on those comments too there. I try to field the ones that are specifically addressed to me, or the more like techie, meteorological-y stuff, but again, we just get so many at times, it's hard. So if everybody's good enough to shout me out by name or mention me personally, I try to do the same. So, all right. And then again, got all the info there for the Severe Thunderstorm Watch scrolling on the bottom of our ticker there. So got all of that info ready and at the fingertips if you need it for the rest of your evening. I would definitely recommend, like we said, being weather aware this evening just due to that threat for the next several hours. This is one of the longer severe thunderstorm watches or watches in general that we've had for a while. So I didn't get any of the normal, like, hey, today is going to be this graphics and tonight's going to be that graphics. I do have that information down here in the ticker. If y'all want me to go grab those graphics for you, I can do that. It takes just a minute. I just did not do it yet. I was busy kind of watching the storms coming in, so figured that would be more of our pressing need as far as the rain and the storms than the graphics. So cool, that is awesome. Yep. Lots of heavy rain and lightning, Brittany says, in Lewisburg. Can definitely believe that. We can zoom back in on you all there. Yeah, pretty heavy, especially up to the north side of Lewisburg between there and Chapel Hill. Pretty happening at the moment. So we can see maybe where some of those hail returns are coming from. Yeah, it looks like just a general large return. So mainly, probably mostly that heavy rain showing up there and not actually all a hail risk there, but definitely pretty much all throughout Lewisburg proper. It would not surprise me if you all are seeing some small hail, at least some pea-sized hail falling there. Same with like Frankie fixing to come knocking on your door now. So Pulaski, y'all are in a little bit of a lull, but don't think it's quite over yet because you got some more stuff coming back from the west. And to the south as well. So Frankie Wing, it looks like you all possibly have some hail coming here as well. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, it looks like almost about an inch hail. So we'll call that right about an inch coming straight down 64. So definitely keep an eye out for that if you are out on the roads or anything right now. Be safe, don't text and drive, all that fun stuff. But watch out for ponding on the roadways and the hail there. So in classic Murray County fashion, this one looks like it's probably trying to weaken up a little bit. I don't know what it is about that western county line, but it looks like it is slowing down a little bit here in the center, which we expected might happen with the merging of those two cells. But here down to the south, like we talked about, it still looked like it's got pretty good conditions. So the southern end of the county, maybe across the northern tips of Lawrence and Giles, look like they're going to get the heaviest activity here in just a minute, but still got plenty of stuff coming for you, Columbia. We can go ahead and do a storm track on that real quick. Let's see, 262, 31 knots. Yeah, this side is moving a lot quicker than the bottom is now, it seems. So we'll go ahead and just do this leading edge. All right, and there is that. We'll get that just a moment to populate the ETA info. And we'll have a look there at that as soon as it comes up. And it didn't populate anything. Great. Let's try that again. All right, new severe thunderstorm warning for Murray County. So go ahead and get that up there. Where's my information? So, all right, severe thunderstorm warning has been issued till 1:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time and 12:58 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm is located over Summertown, or 13 miles north of Lawrenceburg, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So again, this is a brand new warning for Murray County proper. So go ahead and we'll make our joyful noise there. If y'all can go ahead and post that for me too, please. All right, so again, severe thunderstorm warning now for Giles, Lawrence, Lewis, Marshall, and Murray until 1:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. See if we can get our storm track to cooperate with us there now again. I need to turn on my radio too, or I would have known about that. Oh, that's my fault. It's normally how I'm so close, y'all. It's not any kind of secret or anything like that. I'm just usually sitting right on top of my NOAA radio when it's doing stuff like this. So there we go. There's our storm track. Let's hope it works this time. Yep, now it's populating stuff. There we go. All right. And again, so it looks like Hampshire 105. So here in just a couple of minutes for you, pretty much right on the door. Go ahead and take cover there. Canaan 116, Sawdust 117, Zion about 119, Ashwood same time, Poplar Top 120, Pleasant Hill subdivision about 123, Columbia Gardens 126, West Haven, NACO, Forest Hills, Royal Oaks, Bel Air, Fairview Heights, River Heights about 130, Riverside just a few minutes after that, Lanton about 140, and then areas of northern Murray County about 145, Lucia, Raleigh Hill, Hardison Mill, and those areas about 2 p.m. Again, leave those up there for just a moment. That is roughly where we are looking at. I'll go in and do another track real quick on the center of our storm here, just so we can get a good idea. All right, so yeah, let me re-edit that and get it to be maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, a little bit. So yeah, Mount Pleasant, this should be on top of y'all here in just a little bit. All right, I got the warning posted, y'all. We're good. Can y'all hear the NOAA radio over me, or kind of hear it at all? I'm trying to keep it loud enough where I can hear it, but not where y'all can. And again, if you're just joining us, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning now for Murray County. A couple of others as well. I'll pop that back up on the screen there for you so you can have a look. So Giles, Lawrence, Lewis, Marshall, and Murray, severe thunderstorm warning until 1:30 p.m., roughly about the track of the storm right there as indicated. So go ahead and pull that off now. So again, we'll let that roll in motion for just a minute there and get a good idea of where it's going, what's going on. All right. So again, thank you for joining us. If you just are, we are under a severe thunderstorm warning now, as well as a severe thunderstorm watch. We always inevitably get the question, what's the difference? So the taco picture is usually my favorite one. So when you have all your lettuce and your beef and your shells and your tomatoes and all your stuff sitting on the counter, it's a taco watch. When you get all of your taco stuff together and you get it ready to eat it, that is a taco warning. So watch means all the ingredients are in the area. Warning means it's happening right now. It is taco time. So again, severe thunderstorm watch means conditions are going to be favorable throughout the entire pink area here. So big geographic areas for watches, smaller areas for warnings, because that means it's actually happening right here in this area, and it's generally moving about the direction that the polygon is shaped. So sometimes they're kind of a weird shape, but you can get the general gist of which direction they're moving. So that is that. Let me make sure we are caught up here on Facebook comments. Yep, think so. Perfect. But yeah, just join us. We are under a couple of those different weather threats at the moment. If you're inside of this watch box or the warning box right here, you need to take cover, be aware of where those storms are at. If you're outside, definitely get inside right now, because these things are putting down a lot of lightning. So definitely keep that in mind, and throughout the rest of the evening, probably, because it looks like this will be a thing. There are some more storms in the area of West Tennessee that are trying to break out back behind these as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on this area as the day goes, or the evening goes on as well. So back that out a little bit. You can kind of get a broad overview of what's going on there while I make sure I am caught up here on my stuffs. And if y'all want, if you need to get my attention or you're sending me something, the easiest way to do it from this video is just typing it in the video, because it keeps these comments popped up right here for me, right off the top. I'm gonna find a way to get them up in the stream one day. I've been working on it, but I just haven't gotten around all the way to perfecting it yet. The other comments and stuff, obviously there's people commenting on them left and right, left and right, left and right. That's perfect. Freaking love it. It helps us with the algorithm. And it keeps everybody on subject as to, as to what's about that post or what's relevant to that post. But Kristen, excellent question there. So it will be pretty much under the threat of storms for the duration of the watch periods, which just means that those conditions will be favorable in our Pepto-Bismol pink area there until 8 p.m. We could get it canceled off at 6, or, some more stuff just could keep on piling right in behind it, and it gets extended until 10 and 11 midnight. So could really go either way, but that's what we are here for. So glad to help clear that up for you. Perfect example of one of those good questions. So that's on a different post, but I'm trying to go through and make sure I keep everybody caught up. Oh, Kimberly, great picture. I am probably going to actually repost that if that is okay. Because I want everybody to see that. That is a great picture, Kimberly. Got a beautiful shelf cloud from Hampshire earlier. Beautiful picture. So, perfect. All right. Kind of see, with me being live too, what goes into the background of all of this too at any given time when we've got the crazy weather going on. So we stay very, very busy. But anyway, just staying on topic here, we've got several warnings across the area. Obviously, as you see here, we've got pretty much continuous severe thunderstorm warnings all the way across the state, pretty much from Kentucky to the Alabama border. So good severe weather day underway, it looks like. So we will be with you. We'll be pretty busy here. So again, just bear with us at times. trying to get to all of the comments and everything, but again, there are just a lot of them. So if you need my attention the quickest, come on and throw something in the comments on the video. That's the ones I'm looking at here on the main screen. But I try to keep my iPad here open to all of the other comments as well too in the other posts, because we'll be firing out posts pretty quick again at a time like this. So fun stuff. But definitely, like I said a minute ago, if you're in the area of this watch box, it's probably going to be a good idea to go ahead and make some severe weather plans. Go ahead and get that that plan in place, because it looks like it is coming. So we can have a look again here at our wind and hail. So it looks like we do have a pretty good band of about 30 or 40 mile per hour winds here associated with this leading edge. And again, some kind of sprinkled in pockets of small hail there as well. So definitely hailers, definitely the wind threat. Haven't seen really any rotation or any kind of organized tornado threat out of any of these storms. Any of the storms that do produce decent sized hail are obviously going to have a little bit of updraft rotation, but that's about all we've seen so far, and nothing organized at all. All right, yeah, I know y'all couldn't hear me there for a second. I was just having a conversation with the crew there in the background. So, Fox Run over by Hampshire Pike. Cool. Yeah, I'm watching. All right. Yeah, heard they had some issues over there in Fox Run earlier with the power. If they do get that back on, let us know. Timothy, I'm happy to pass that along to the masses as well. But as we can see, we've got pretty good severe coverage, or pretty good precip coverage all around the area right now. Columbia, Murray County, this is the only warning down here to the south right now. Giles, Lawrence, Lewis, Marshall, and Murray until 1:30 p.m. So for about the next 18 minutes or so. But we do have some of those warnings up here to the north, though. Obviously, several counties included here for our neighbors to the north, including Nashville, Davidson County there itself. And then, yeah, several more to the north. So we'll kind of focus down here on Columbia as this gets ready to roll through, because it looks like we've got some pretty good activity coming up into Columbia proper now, to the north side of town around Rock Product Road, Highway 31, Witherspoon Road. Don't see, yeah, there may be some small hail falling up there on that end of the county. So showing just shy of some half-inch hail right there along, what was that, Rock Product? Yeah, Rock Product Road. We'll move that down here a little bit. Yep, Rock Product Road, around that area off of Nashville Highway. So quite possibly there, some hail up to the north, and definitely putting down the lightning. We're seeing several strikes up here in the northwest Columbia area, and many more to come from Mount Pleasant and Summertown. Summertown, it looks like it's on you right now. It should be slacking up here in just a moment, but definitely don't let your guard down once the rain slows down, because you've got a good bit of lightning still off to your west here as well. Pulaski, just to the south of you, rocking and rolling pretty well down there near Highway 31, Yant Road, Poly Road, around there or so. Still probably looking at some hail there as well. You have around a half-inch hail or so. And then Frankie Wing going pretty good on you for a while now, and you still got a couple of minutes to go probably. So stay put for the moment. No warnings for y'all though. Same in Lewisburg over here. You should be getting cleared out and see that lightning now off to your east, but there's going to be some more coming that is associated with a severe warning. So keep an eye on that. Just that very corner of Marshall County. Hold on. Got another warning coming out. 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's this one here. Cheatham, Davidson, Sumner, Rutherford, and Williamson, Wilson. So yeah, that's that one coming out there. So you can see it kind of cuts off right there at the Murray County line because they didn't want to double issue us. No, that's the new one, excuse me. So yeah, they canceled the other one there and moved it in. So definitely Nashville, folks up that way, Franklin, Nolensville, Thompson Station. It is indeed coming. So keep an eye on that western sky for a bit. And same in Columbia. It is coming. We've got some activity there in northern Columbia like we talked about just a second ago, but we've got some more coming from the west. So hang in there for just a moment longer and make sure that that lightning kind of slacks off before you poke your heads out. Okay. And again, we still do have that warning in effect for us for a little while longer. Remains in effect until 1:30 p.m. for East Central Lewis, West Central Marshall, Northeastern Lawrence, Southern Murray, and Northwestern Giles counties. At 1:14 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles southeast of Mount Pleasant, or about 12 miles south of Columbia, moving east at 45 miles an hour. Yeah, I can too. Yep. We're right in that little nook of it right there. Or at least I am. Okay. Okay. Making an update post about the warning now. All right. So appreciate everybody joining us. Still got about 60 people in the stream, so appreciate that as always. Cindy says she's got lots of wind near Hampshire Pike. I can believe that. It looks like it is indeed coming in because I can hear it here inside. That's what we were just discussing. So the wind has definitely picked up in Sunnyside. And this is going to be that main part of this this line that we're going to be looking at. Garland says they've got hard rain at Fairview Park, and I didn't get knocked off a second ago, Garland. I did earlier, but I haven't drugged the genie out, but if it gets crazy again, I may have to. Yeah. Things still rock and rolling down there just to the northeast of Summertown and south of Mount Pleasant. Also, it looks like we'll have some just heavier activity up just to my east now as well too. So Campbellsville Pike around there, 31 South. Looks like I got some heavier activity crossing between you and call it Mooresville Pike there or so right now. And then again, if you're on 65 right now, listen to us anywhere kind of in Murray County. I forget which mile markers it are. Between Highway 50 and 396, pretty much. You've got this coming to you as well from the west, so it's going to be on you pretty quick. I believe it was moving at 50 miles an hour a moment ago. The east at 45 miles an hour, so yeah, close enough. So in a straight line, that will get on you quicker than you think. So also hear the lightning and thunder picking up here in the background in Sunnyside as well. So the next investment we may have to go to is a like a live webcam we can stick up there on the roof next to the the weather station. Anybody else remember the Columbia Power channel that they used to have back in the early 2000s where it had all the cameras from different views around the cities? If you do, throw that in the comments. I think we need to start a petition to get them to do that again or something, because I always liked that, really, personally, when it was storming or snowing or anything else like that. Linda just heard the thunder. Yep, thunder is definitely picking up, Miss Linda, and we're right up the road from you there. Mike's got steady rain and thunder in Old Zion. So yeah, it looks like you probably should be around the most of it at the moment, Mike. You may have a little bit more comment on the back end of this, but and again, this watch only goes to about 8 p.m. Tonight. We'll move everything out there again and turn the lightning off so you can kind of see what's going on. And we do expect some storms at least to break out here in West Tennessee that may come into our area, just depending on how much daylight and how much punch we have there left in the atmosphere. So just wanted to mention that as well, because we're watching this probably until the later stages of that watch time frame around 8 p.m. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to have a word with the crew and just kind of take a brief, I guess, commercial break. We'll be right back. Yeah, guys, I'm still here. I promise. I just stepped away for a second to grab some medicine, something else to drink, and just stretch. So got my little no audio cue down there, but I promise I'll be right back. All right, guys and gals, and I am back. Like I said, just had to step away real quick, but never far. So, again, if you are just joining us, that severe thunderstorm warning that we had just expired, so it has been lapsed and allowed to expire. We've got some pretty heavy precip across the Murray County area there, as you see, but no more warning. So that is definitely good news there on that front. And it looks like the only warnings now are up to our north, so definitely good news there. However, as you see, we still do have our Pepto-Bismol background there, so I do have that severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect until 8 p.m. this evening. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that, but as it looks like right now, things are trying to clear off just a little bit to our west. We'll be keeping an eye on any thunderstorm development that happens back here in the areas of West Tennessee for the evening. But other than that, that should be the main threat for the moment. I'm going to go in here in just a little while. I'm going to take another break shortly and go in and pour over some of the models and see if I can come up with a good consensus there of what they think will happen for the rest of the night, so we can give you a little bit better advice. I had the forecast scrolling earlier. I think NWS officially only said a 30% chance tonight, but that's what they said for today as well. And as y'all can tell, excuse me, it's 30% all over the place out there right now. So, that's how it goes sometimes, never an exact science. I wish I knew what it was going to do, because I would definitely tell y'all, and I would also copyright it or patent it or something, and that way I'd make millions and bazillions, because nobody knows what this is going to do, folks. Wish I could tell you that I did, but I don't. I would also be skeptical of anybody that claims to know. So, anyways, best thing we can do, as I mentioned earlier, would be just have a look at it and keep an eye on things as the evening grows on. That's what we are here for. So you all go enjoy your evenings, and we will be here as needed if the need arises. But for the most part right now, it looks like things are beginning to calm down just a bit in our neck of the woods down here. Still some pretty heavy storms to go for Lawrenceburg, Leoma, West Point. That around that area of Lawrence County, and probably still going to be moving off to the east still. So 5 Points, Minor Hill, you've got some coming in now, and then Pulaski, you'll probably get one more round at least out of this as well. So drop below the severe threshold there for Murray County, but like I said, we still have that watch in effect until 8 p.m. All right, this is pouring rain again over on Casey Lane. You are very welcome, Martha. We were definitely glad to provide that street level coverage for Murray County, because as one of the biggest gripes and complaints that got me into this was the Nashville news media. They always cover the bigger cities, but when, we could have whatever going on down here like this, and if Nashville gets, a hailstone, it's all about them. You can get that, that's their main market, but there's still plenty of people who live down here in southern middle Tennessee. And on top of that, we have our unique challenge of geography. So we've discussed this before plenty of times. Let me go, for instance, and we'll just put the cursor right here on my house. So the radar tells me right now that we are looking 3,705 feet off of the ground. What can happen in 3,705 feet? A lot. And that's the problem. So where the radar is looking, it looks out at an angle like this, kind of like in a cone. So the farther away it gets from the radar side in Old Hickory, the further up it's looking because of the angle. So in Murray County, we have, by the radar, no idea what's going on almost 4,000 feet below the cloud tops to the ground, except for you. That is where storm spotters, storm chasers come into play. That's where the general public comes into play. That's where you all come into play to help provide us that ground truth to know what's going on. So we definitely depend on you. You depend on us. It's a symbiotic relationship, and it is definitely a very good thing. So I'm glad to just provide that public service from a hobby. 1 second. Another warning coming out here. Might be for Marshall County or Lawrence County. I bet Lawrence. Nope. Moore County. Lincoln, just kidding. Other side. Okay. So that one's not for us. That one's actually the NWS office out of Huntsville. So no problems there. Georgianne says she's got calm with moderate rain over in the Westover area of Columbia. There's that new warning there we just mentioned. So, again, some pretty heavy precip around the area there, but as far as Murray County goes and the surrounding counties, about the only thing we've got down there is that heavier stuff in Lawrenceburg, and they are definitely getting the storm down there, as well as the lightning. Also possibly some small hail as well to go with it. So we'll keep an eye on things, but that is definitely good news because it looks like some of these storms are losing some of their punch from earlier, and that could be because of the rain that came through. Absolutely. And as I mentioned earlier at the top of the broadcast, we are working with limited instability today and limited wind shear, so that's why we don't really have that tornado threat. It's more of the straight wind threat today and hail. So that be why, if you were wondering, in your mind, that has got a lot to do with it. So got enough instability, obviously, to get these storms going with some pretty good punch, but other than that, not much of a chance of them getting the spinnies. So good news there. And again, they look like they're, for the most part, beginning to weaken up a little bit as well. So down here to the south, still got some pretty rocking activity there with our tail end Charlie storm, and just to the southwest of Lawrenceburg. And again, Pulaski, you can probably expect that pretty soon as well. And Minor Hill is also going to have another good little storm rolling up in the near future. So we'll leave that there and leave it alone for a second so you can kind of get a good idea of what is going on throughout the mid-state area. Yeah, and also, yeah, just brought to my attention, yeah, I definitely appreciate everybody that's sent us the photos. I'm going to put something up like on the top of the page, I think, coming up, just to say, hey, if you post something, you kind of just agree to let us use it, because I hate to stop and wait and ask for permission during stuff like this. But we've definitely got some great shots that have been sent in to us from all over the place, so we're going to get those up on the page here in just a little bit. And of course, I'll always give whoever credit. Just don't make me look like a dummy, and if you didn't take it, just tell me so. So some of this stuff we do actually forward if you've got good damage pictures, or obviously like some funnel cloud pictures and stuff. That's something we want to get to the NWS immediately. So just let us know where you are. Give us like a cross street or something like that. Highway 31 at Neapolis area, or Rocky Drive, something like that. If you've got a nice fancy smartphone in your hand, you can always give us GPS coordinates. It's really easy to do. And then tell us what we're looking at. So nice healthy tree, 2-inch diameter, snapped, relate hail to the size of a coin. Don't say marbles, please, because marbles come in all different kinds of sizes. Pea-size hail is good to know, for instance, but that is sub-severe reporting criteria, so technically that is not anything that we necessarily will pass on to the NWS. But anything in excess of about penny-sized hail or so, nickel-sized hail, is within the severe reporting criteria of half inch. So 60 mile per hour winds or greater, obviously any damage, funnel clouds, tornadoes, things like that. Flooding also, residential and urban flooding was something we definitely need to know about as well. A lot of people took that for granted, or just kind of looked at it as water, until a couple of years ago, between the Nashville floods and what went on in Dixon a while back. Definitely gets everybody's attention when stuff like that happens. So never underestimate water, ever, 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 ever. Okay, I think most of the posts are caught up there on the page itself. And then for anybody just joining us, obviously the severe thunderstorm warning for Maury County has expired about 10 minutes ago or so, so we are clear of that. But we still do have our Pepto-Bismol pink severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 8 p.m. this evening. Yeah, so I knew I was muted there for a second, guys. Just again talking back and forth with the crew. Got some excellent shots in, and I'm going to repost those again. But we were talking about scud clouds. So earlier, had some video sent in inquiring if it could possibly be a tornado trying to form, and what it looks like. It looks very scary. Scud clouds are that warm moist air that we were talking about earlier. As it gets heated up and angry and wants to rise into the storm, it cools back off once it starts to get there and starts forming like a vapor or condensation trail. So if you don't stand there and watch it for a while, it can look like it's coming down instead of going up. So that can definitely be pretty scary, because some of them want to take on like a funnel or wedged shape. But if you look really closely, they're not rotating. So that is what a scud cloud is. I've got a really good video on my old personal YouTube channel that I may resurrect from a while back that I think was on Good Morning America, about scud clouds on a really severe, really active weather day we had a while back, several years back. So, but yeah, so far, just to kind of recap, got some pretty heavy precipitation going on to our south, and now moving off to the east. Now areas like Lewisburg, Chapel Hill, Eagleville, Nolensville, Smyrna, you're going to be getting that round that we just got next. But luckily, it does look like it is losing a good bit of punch as it goes. So definitely good news there. But for the most part, that should be it in this round, I think. We'll still be watching back there in West Tennessee like we've been talking about. But for the moment, I think that will probably be the majority of what we'll be looking at. So I'll probably take another short break here in a little while and get something to feed my face. I'm really bad about not eating until something like this pops up, and I'm kind of stuck, hungry, and can't think. So I'm gonna grab some food here in just a bit, and I'll be back on. Wanted to make sure we were caught up on all of our comments and everything. All right, big money, stars again, and I'm gonna mess it up again. You said it's pronounced like Marlies, right? I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna mess it up. Oh, if I ever see your face, I'll never forget you. But names I am horrible with. But I swear, if I remember correctly, you said it's like Marlies. So thank you very much. Thank you, as always. 500 stars, big money. So we always appreciate that. Helps keeps the lights on here. Right. I may go in here in that lull since we've got it, and go ahead and get you some of those normal slides that we do. So I'll be here. Just give me a few. I'll be off mic for a second. If you have any comments, questions, or anything else, just... Yes, Marlies. Okay, perfect. I wanted to make sure I said that right, because I had to ask the first time, because I didn't want to be that guy. But then I have to rely on the old memory as well. That's where I get my big problems. So glad I got that right. Thank you. We appreciate you as well. All right. So yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna go ahead and get some of those slides up for us that we normally use in our forecasts and stuff, and I'll be right here. I'm just gonna go off mic for a second and probably off camera. Still kind of tucking on my little vaporizer here, and I don't want Zuck to get mad at me. So I'll be right here with you, not going anywhere, but I'll just be off camera for just a tick. All right, everybody, I'm back here for a moment. I grabbed that info for you, and we'll go ahead and go over some of that long-term stuff here. Speaking of the severe threat, we do have looks like a severe threat both today and tomorrow. So about the same threat level. We're right on the slight and the enhanced risk for tomorrow as it stands right now. Obviously, we'll go in and update that in the morning as the new day one outlook comes out from the Storm Prediction Center. But for right now, looks like it will be more of the same, mainly thunderstorms with a chance of straight line winds, hail, and heavily rain with some localized flooding. Late morning hours through the evening hours, both days. So around, like, we'll say noonish until, getting towards the end of the day. Tonight, a little bit more mild, 71 degrees with about a 30 to 40% chance of precip in Columbia. Same for Waverly or Waynesboro, a little bit cooler, around 69 in Tullahoma, and a little bit warmer up towards the top of the states and the northern end around Nashville or so at 74. Still should be seeing some of those showers coming through over the overnight hours. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. I've got a model pulled up here ready to go for us. So Sunday, looking at about the same. So again, about a 40% chance, just depending on where you are in Murray County. Culleoka may be a little bit less, but only marginally. Mostly partly cloudy, high around 95. So still expected to be a hot one in most of the western end of the mid-state area. And then again, as promised, that model starting off today about 1 p.m. and you can see it rolls on through the evening hours now, showing kind of what we've got now moving on out. And then possibly some more activity coming in off of that system there from the north. It shows some dragging into the Middle Tennessee area between about 2 and 4 a.m. So just depending on where that all lands, it doesn't look to be as solid of coverage there across the area. So it may end up being a hit and miss situation again, or end up being another pretty mild night in Mealtown. So definitely glad to have everybody with us here on the stream today. If you just joined us, welcome to Weather Down in Mealtown. As always, this is the captain speaking, and we've been on here for, let's see, how long have we been on here now? For about an hour and a half, so not too bad. Most of the severe weather threat has left the Murray County area. We'll go back on here over to our Storm Tracker Doppler radar and have a look at that for you. And you can see here that most of it has exited on to the east of the Murray County area. Still some stronger storms down here in Lawrenceburg, Giles County, are to the east here. But mostly getting pretty quiet around the Murray County area. Still some rain back here. Maybe a couple of stray lightning strikes between Hampshire and Hohenwald, but nothing severe at all. No warnings in effect. We may still keep the severe thunderstorm watch for a while, but I anticipate, unless anything happens with these storms here in the next pretty soon little bit, that will be allowed to expire as well, I would assume, so, or canceled early even. So that is what we're looking at right now. I'll probably not leave this one up just because I don't think there's going to be much of a reason to or need to see the radar. So once we go off the air with this one, I'll just leave it up on the page, and you can refer back to that for any of those conditions or forecasts for tomorrow, anything else like that you need. And I'll also try to go in and make some updated posts to when and if that severe thunderstorm watch gets canceled early, and make sure we pass that on to you as well. So again, as always, we appreciate you joining us on Weather Down in Mealtown. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of that fun stuff. We appreciate everyone joining us on our YouTube audience today as well. As always, we simulcast our streams to Facebook and YouTube. To be honest, YouTube has a much, much better video quality. You can see the storms in the streets and all the little tiny details a lot better there. So just for what that's worth, love having everybody on Facebook. But if you're going to put us up on like a larger screen, like a TV or a tablet or something like that, might want to check out YouTube. So other than that, like we said, thank you for joining us on the stream. Keep those pictures coming. Any damage you've got, hail, anything else like that we might need to know about, just have that coming on our way, and we'll make sure that gets on over to the National Weather Service. So again, everybody, glad to join us. This has been the captain speaking, and on behalf of me and all of the WDiMT crew, we appreciate you joining us, and we hope you have a safe and weather-aware weekend.